Video 84, understanding how multi-level council in a new government and understanding in other countries and state levels and country levels and world level, how they would function on a basic understanding. So let's go here and work on understanding the councils. Let's say after 10 years of adjustment of power and stripping down of the federal government power, the representative levels of the government will be changed over into many levels of councils. At the town level, there would be like a council of 6. This includes they will be dealing with the utilities, the education, the parks, the roads, the policemen. This is a 6-year term with every other year a reassessment by the public on a forum that each on the council as to or as to not the quality or not quality of their leadership. Ones having a bad grades at this time would be removed from office. As soon as that 60-day re-election of 2 council members that were replaced because they failed as being a council member, those that failed in their council membership will not be allowed back as a council member at any level of the council in the world. This is important to understand. This is, as done in other worlds, to maintain a good structure of the multi-layered council. So it is very functional. The city council members starts with 12. If the city is 8,000 in populations to 30,000 and relatively above, there is a sub-level of council that be 6 council members. So that city in that size would have 12 full-time council members and 6 sub-council members that will take care of the other responsibilities and dealings that the other 12 cannot. This here is also as a 6-year term with every other year reassessment and replacement, if needed, of non-functional council members by the public vote forum. The cities with 40,000 to a little over 100,000 will have 2 full-time councils of 12 council members. Here again, this is a 6-year term and every other year reassessment to replace the non-functional or workable council members to assure the continuancy of a strong and healthy council. The cities with 120,000 to a half a million will have 2 to 3 councils of 12 apiece and 2 sub-councils of 6 apiece to work with the upper councils to make sure everything is covered. The cities of 600,000 to 3 million will have 4 sets of 12 council members with an option if the governor of the state that they live in sees that they need more council members, can add a layer of council members. Once again, it's a 6-year term should you make it that long. The cities with 3,300,000 to 6 million get 4 full levels of 12 council members and 2 sub-levels of 6, with the addition of, if they go to the state governor, of having another level of council, but it has to be able to be proven of its functionality, and the rules would be the same with them also. Now, cities with 6,300,000 to 8 million get 5 full sets of council members, that being 12. Cities with 8,400,000 to 12 million-ish get 5 full sets of 12 council and 3 full sets of sub-councils, with the option, if the state governor feels, they could add some subs underneath those subs, but it has to be proven, and they also have to follow the rules exceedingly tight. Now, the council laws for those who will be elected as a council member, male or female, are very strict to keep the councils healthy and the ruling of the different councils of the back and forth very effective. This will greatly help to ensure a healthy long future for America and for the world, as other countries also will move into the council methods of ruling the cities, towns, villages, and anything smaller than that too. Now let's move over to the over councils. In the meaning and understanding of how I have been shown it, how it works on other established worlds. Each state of America has an over council of 12. This is necessary and to sometimes get involved of them to making decisions as a go-between between the lower councils below them that are not agreeing with each other and other city councils, etc. The over council members also assure at a state level that the programs throughout the state are legal and are binding as legal as these much tighter rules they are have to be following going as planned. The level of council, that of an over council, is very, very tough, as well as the laws pertaining to the over councils to assure that they will be doing their jobs legally. And they also have a reassessment to remove any other council members that may not be able to do their job as they should, or they are not able to anymore. Although that over council of 12, now they have an 8-year term. Should the members be able to keep everything legal they are involved with, and the other levels of the councils below them. Also making sure that they are not taking bribes or persuasion, money, gifts, loans, treats from persons or businesses or entities of any form, which here would be an instant termination of office, regardless of the seat that they occupied. Then at the country level is a head council of 24 with 3 sub-councils of 12. This is the most strict of all councils, being of the head council or its sub. This is a 12-year term, if anyone can actually make it 12 years with a clean history and work ethics. During the 12 years here is also every other year a reevaluation and reassessment so the public can decide who is doing their job and who is not doing their job or able to do their job no longer as a council member, here being a head council member. The rules are the same as all the other levels of council. Should a head council member be found cheating, taking money, bribe, persuasions, little treats underneath the table that may or may not involve pizza or cheap beer and so forth, any other source of persuasion of monies and gifts, that job would be instantly terminated for that head council person, along with their families, uncles, aunts, cousins, not being allowed to even be in the office of a council at any level. So this is very strict. This is strict, and I'm going to go through this again because it's been done this way in other worlds. This keeps the councils straight and following the rules, that they are doing their job using their intellect, not using what hangs below their belt. Okay, this is very important because on other worlds it was noticed over many hundreds of thousands of years that should you allow relatives of the council members to be doing all this other stuff, how harmful it is to pulling the entire council understanding and effectiveness down. Okay, so you still might be saying, oh, it's still too strict. I will tell you again that this has been used in other parts of the living universe in variables in variables for even as long as many thousands to hundreds of thousands of years, possibly longer, usually tens of thousands of years. But anyhow, this is how a planet and its species create a workable civilization that will last as long as I have just mentioned. Now let's talk about the different level of councils. Each level of council live in a level of council that they are in their own mini suburb that has top of the line security at the entrances and exits, along with the patrol throughout the mini suburbs by security, or rather a military level, though they're not in the military anymore. They've had the training to guarantee safety. Now, all these condos are green energy only operated, and they're very efficient, each having a 4-acre lot their building is on. This has been shown in other worlds, which allows the council members a form of relaxation and private room for them to think about what's going on, as well as room for their family. Each council member is required to live in one of these establishments the full time of their term, or terms being plural. The separate living places for the different level of council members is designed, as has been designed on many other worlds, to maximize the efficiency of thinking by having this roomy building arrangement and property that can be both protected and yet private enough for each council member and their family to ensure harmony, which will encourage those council members to be more efficient. Each council member also in each condo has a presentation video call and multi-video call room that is separate from the rest of the house, but yet in the house, or rather condo. This is state-of-the-art technology to guarantee clear and also office use of communications, as well as protection against hacking into from outside groups. In the middle of each of the mini suburbs is a clubhouse for the council members and or families to have some fun. While it is a very thick-walled basement, though, under it for meetings, that has an eye scan security to gain entrance into the basement. Should there be horrible storms or tornadoes, they can go there for ultimate protection, which also has multi-large screen video calls and meetings. At the end of a council member's terms of office, they're being in council, they are cut off to zero pay at the state line, at the county line, at the town line, at the country line, and above. They are cut off of their pay, and they are expected to go and get another job and occupation and provide for themselves for the rest of their lives. Ex-council members will also have no security companies paid for them, or benefits after they are no longer in office. The ex-council members cannot go around either and generate money by going to other businesses and countries and talking to them, as if they were still in office. When their time of council is over, it is time to go get a new job and get out and work with the public. There is stiff penalties in place on other worlds for ex-council members who try to do these things, even though they're unlawful. Then there is the Overlord Council. This is a planetary level of council. This is a council that deals with off-world species who desire to do trade or illegal activity, as well as make sure that the level below that head level council is doing as they're told and as their job requires. This council also deals with the head councils from other countries, as well as disputes of lower levels of councils with, let's say, for instance, within the United States. This council is of 36. The head council members of this council is 4, who are the grand marshals, that are the highest of the authority on the planet Earth. The Council of Overlords also have a mini suburb of their own that is ultra protected, as well as roomy condo style, and their green energy use. And also having in each condo, like the other ones, a very secure room for video calls, multi-video calls, and talks, as well as using it for their office. The rule of the Overlord Council is 8 years, should one actually make it the full 8 years. The rules are the same strictness for the Overlord Council and the head council of the Overlords, that being of those 4 beings that are actually called the Grand Marshals. The Grand Marshals, that is those 4 beings, they have a 9-year term. Should they make it that long, or as individuals make it that long and not get replaced, this enables a true, smooth transition of the Overlord Council, of those 32 members, that the transitions of those seats of the Overlord Council is smooth, as the 4 members of that head council of the Overlords aids in helping, that being the 4 Grand Marshals. The Overlords and the Grand Marshals also have every other year reassessment, to assure that the level of council is maintained and ruled fully lawfully. Very important to understand, to maintain that the levels of councils are being maintained and ruled fully lawfully. As with any level of council, only the council person has the position of the authority. None of the council members' family or extensions of family in any relation, including the wife, has no power or authority to do whatsoever while that one in that family is elected to a council position. Neither are they allowed to travel to other cities during the elections process to try to talk to assembled citizens to try and vote up more votes for their husband or wife or family relationship that is of a council member. For each level of council, there is an allotted set of money for each one of them to aid them in the election. Each council member, or rather those who have been also legally found to be able to run for election, there is a set amount of money given to use of each of them. No other money it can be used, and no other forms of money can be given to those striving to be elected or re-elected. This answer for this is such: by having each qualified citizen the exact amount of money to use to be elected into a level of council, that's any level of council, the public can then clearly see of who of those running for office is managing the money and the time the best. Any level of a council member or new ones trying to get into a council, if caught with receiving side money under the table or any other manner, tricks or whatever, will be instantly removed from the entire election process, whether or not they are new coming in or a council member trying to be re-elected. Each level of council, that is from the town to the different levels of councils in the city, the state, the country, and the grand marshal level, each level of council has their own set levels of money that is given for the different levels of councils in the election process. In no level of council is any extra money allowed to aid in the election of any one set person. For this is allowed here greatly for the public to be able to see before they are elected or re-elected how these beings are actually behaving with the responsibility of the time and the election money, since everyone in the different sects, they get the same amount. Each level is a different amount, but okay. As also is showing that time management of the time that they're going with the election, how they're spending their time with the money. This is important to understand for the citizens or for the public, so they understand how that person reasons. And this process has shown to be very, very effective on other worlds. This is the ancient spirit tralaka. As always, do things with a clear mind and an awakened inner spirit to experience the benefits of the inner spirit and the outer expression, working together for the highest benefit for yourself and for your planet and your civilization. Journey to many worlds, to many places in the living universe, and always be safe. Good night.